Colombia is a country renowned for producing some of the most attractive ladies in Latin America, in addition to its stunning landscape and extensive cultural legacy. Colombia's people, with their charm and charisma, still have the ability to capture hearts in 2024. But in order to really understand living here, we must take a closer look at the people and employment situation in Colombia. This film will highlight the distinctive features of Colombia and provide a local's perspective on daily life in the city. The second largest city in Colombia, Medellin, is well known throughout the world for its tourist and employment prospects, making it maybe the most well-known city in the country. There is a lot of crime in Medellin as well. After gaining notoriety as the location of Pablo Escobar's cartel, it has changed its image and is now a popular travel destination. The city is alive with a thriving nightlife that includes dancing, street cuisine, art, music, and fashionable people. Almost 4 million people live in Medellin, a thriving metropolis that was founded in the 17th century and includes adjacent territories. The population is more than 5 million. Many were pushed by unemployment to coastal towns in the early going, although Medellin prospered thanks to the growth of the textile industry. Fear and sorrow characterized Escobar's time, and both tourists and bereaved family members visit the sites of memorial for his victims today. Medellin is still expanding despite its stormy past. Its skyline, which is broken up by large, reddish residential complexes, symbolizes its development and tenacity. Undoubtedly, there are still individuals residing in the less developed areas of the city in older, lower-rise structures. Commune 13, formerly a stronghold of the Escobar gang, is currently a popular tourist spot. Locals gain from the spike in tourists, which supports the growth of businesses and street sellers. Commune 13 has been renovated by artistic creations that highlight the talent of Colombian artisans. Even with Escobar's troubled past, this region currently has substantial economic importance and supports the city's economy. Ever wonder how the peculiar estate system in Colombia affects day-to-day living? The opportunities and quality of life for residents are greatly impacted by the stratification of neighborhoods. Up close, the reddish-brown residential buildings dot the city's better-off areas. They look solid and new, yet they lack balconies. For people who are terrified of heights, living on the upper levels might not be the best option. Several of these lofty, brick-colored apartment complexes even have rooftop pools where occupants may enjoy a panoramic view of the pool. The estate system in Colombia creates class divisions between homes and neighborhoods. For instance, depending on their socioeconomic standing, neighborhoods are categorized as Estrato 4 or Estrato 6. The resident status is reflected in these classifications. Certain places are classified as Strata 1, 2, or 3, even though they don't even reach Estrato 4. This approach bears some resemblance to the hotel star rating system. Consider places where some residents enjoy 5-star living standards while others only have access to 3-star services. The majority of people in Strata 1, 2, and 3 work in low-skilled employment, own small businesses, reside in rural locations, and make modest salaries. They could be hotel housekeepers or street merchants. Typically, those in Strata 4 and 5 are employed in the service industry. Examples of these individuals are hotel receptionists, hospital and public institution clerks, nurses, and private security guards. For example, residents of Strata 4, 5, and 6 reside in a community known as Quebrada. There are typically 3 doormen or more in apartment complexes in these regions, and some even have special access doors and security cameras. These affluent neighborhoods offer completely secure co-working facilities in the form of cafes where individuals can comfortably work while enjoying their coffees or beers in a setting reminiscent of Starbucks. You can put your priceless belongings on the table with assurance and concentrate on your work. You could think this is basic and unremarkable, but in Colombia, making such safe and elegant cafe areas is a luxury that people have progressively acquired over time because there are still a lot of robbers and muggers in their cities. If you're unemployed and live in Colombia, you can earn money as a courier by using an electric bicycle alone. You can set up a stand on Colombia's streets to sell goods. You're great at manufacturing if you don't want to be restricted to one location. For example, a lot of people use their mobile stands to sell fruits and vegetables. Some people sell soups they have prepared. A ladle of this soup, known as maimura, goes for roughly 50 cents or half a dollar in the United States. A beloved soup in Colombia is this one. In addition, Colombians, like people in all of Latin America, enjoy eating a lot of food in huge servings. In addition to food, some street sellers create cool drinks with lemon flavor, while others sell flowers from movable carts. Remain optimistic about sales, particularly for flower vendors, as flowers are a widely used decorative element in Colombia. Folks purchase flowers to spruce up their residences. Flowers have a monetary value and are not given away for free. In comparison to supermarkets, avocado and pineapple vendors frequently offer cheaper, more ripe, and tastier items. Hummingbirds and parrots are also housed in apartments in Colombia. Because they are the only kind of bird that can fly backward, hummingbirds, they compare themselves to them. People in Colombia began to think of themselves as regressing over time, earning the moniker hummingbird. The profusion of green accents in buildings, streets, and cafes is a reflection of Colombia's climate and indicates that the country is a more tranquil place for those who enjoy trees and flora. Colombia's culture is entwined with the natural world. Situated on the periphery of the Amazon rainforest, they are able to inhale more oxygen as a result, which improves their health and happiness and prolongs their lives into their 80s. On the streets, people frequently take their pets on walks. Colombians are amiable toward dogs and birds alike. Large muscular dogs are typically kept instead of ornamental dogs. If you witness someone walking more than 10 dogs concurrently, it's likely that they are professional dog walkers. Dog walkers are employed by wealthy, busy people who pay them on a regular basis for their services. Sometimes when taking a taxi, you will experience unanticipated surprises at traffic signals. Dance groups of 10 to 15 individuals perform shows at red lights rather than waiting impatiently. For a brief moment, you get to see a dance performance. Of course, thereafter, you should give these dancers anything you can afford. They work hard and earn their bread after all. These performances feature painstakingly choreographed figures. They are not easy chores that anybody can complete. Colombians search for methods to make money at any chance they get. Even the most uncreative persons erect ropes between trees and put on circus acts. Colombian ladies awe the globe with their extraordinary beauty and distinctive genealogy, which combines European, African, and indigenous influences. International beauty titles such as Miss Universe are regularly won by them. Their hourglass bodies, thick and bouncy hair, and expressive eyes in a variety of tints set them apart, and they are admired for their unique and exotic appearance. Their various skin tones have a natural sun-kissed sheen due to the mild atmosphere. Colombian women are praised for their warmth, friendliness, and enthusiasm in addition to their beauty. They enjoy vibrant chats and dancing, especially salsa, and they do best in social situations. Since education is highly regarded, a lot of women pursue further education and frequently become multilingual proficient speakers. Social and familial ties are important, and Colombian women are renowned for their fidelity and commitment in partnerships. The impact of modern plastic surgery and affluence has caused many Colombian women's bodies to noticeably change in the previous several decades. Due to the influence of the cartel, women started to have treatments including buttock and breast augmentations. These operations were supported by powerful and wealthy individuals like Pablo Escobar, who started a trend that is still in place today. Because of this, a lot of Colombian women, particularly in areas like Cartagena, have had plastic surgery to improve their bodies, drawing a lot of interest from the men in the area. In Cartagena's lively social scene, women are frequently seen wearing skimpy attire as they enjoy the nightlife and cafes. The city is renowned for its performers who display their skills in exchange for cash. Even with the vibrant atmosphere, there are always issues that travelers encounter, such as robbery. Financial scams are a common occurrence for European women looking for short-term relationships, and some Colombian males prey on their optimism. Furthermore, Colombian Venezuelan exiles may turn to con games in an attempt to make quick cash, which affects both visitors and residents. Cartagena's vibrant social scene and historic charm draw tourists from all over the world despite these obstacles. Colombia has one of the liveliest nightlife scenes in the world, with an explosion of excitement and adrenaline. The gorgeous attractiveness and self-assured appeal of these men and women are well known outside of South America. In particular, Colombian women frequently dress to impress and give off an air of warmth and friendliness. You'll be greeted with open arms if you're traveling to Colombia to socialize and take advantage of the exciting nightlife, especially if you look great. It may surprise you to learn that Colombia has some of the liveliest nightlife in the world. Particularly Medellin is well known for its exciting and lively nightlife, drawing tourists from all over the world. Colombians interact more with those who appear to have a higher economic standing and are generally friendly toward Americans and Europeans. Although amiable Argentinians are well known, Colombia is the most beautiful and happy nation in Latin America. Colombia leads the world in high-quality, reasonably priced entertainment. Only Thailand can equal their offerings. The hub of this exciting nightlife is Medellin. You can feel the welcoming throng and contagious spirit of the city as you walk around its streets at night. Latin dances are a favorite way for Colombians to celebrate, which means there will be lots of opportunities to mingle and have a great time. Happiness and joy are a constant in Colombia. If you approach a local woman in the evening and are well-groomed and courteous, you should expect to be greeted with a friendly grin and lively discussion. Dancing is a major component of Colombian social life and is typically the start of relationships. Dancing and music are shared till dawn. Medellin's nightlife center, Parque Lleras, is teeming with bars, clubs, and dining establishments. It is a bustling hub for visitors and locals alike, with live outdoor dining and street entertainers. Visit Laurel's for a more authentic experience. It's a laid-back neighborhood with lots of bars, cafes, and salsa clubs. Particularly around La Setenta, this is where Colombia's love of celebration and good times really comes through. Colombia welcomes millions of tourists from the US and Canada every year because of its thriving culture, breathtaking beaches, and alluring populace. The streets of Medellin are alive with activity, with festivals, concerts, marriages, and even criminal activity. However, once you're settled in, you'll be enthralled by Colombia's vibrant party scene and the sincere friendliness of its people. With the proverb, "Mi casa es su casa," your house is my house, Colombians are hospitable, industrious, and genuinely make you feel at home. Locals meticulously sweep and mop, and gatekeepers ensure security in the busy tourist areas. Their efforts to maintain these areas clean and safe are a testament to their hospitality. People take great pleasure in their oral hygiene, brushing their teeth 4 times a day, even in public places. Their radiant smiles provide impetus to a flourishing dental tourism sector, drawing travelers from the US, Canada, and Europe in search of reasonably priced care. Living in a brand new 1,500 square foot, 3-bedroom apartment with high ceilings like the ones in Laurel's will cost you roughly $1,000 a month. Internet, water, and energy costs are included in this price. Living in Colombia's affluent areas can cost a little more though. Living expenses in Colombia vary, but for those who want to fully immerse themselves in its culture and way of life, it provides a singular and rewarding experience. Living in Colombia in 2024 is very inexpensive when compared to many Western nations. Depending on the city and lifestyle, an individual's projected monthly expenses, excluding rent, might vary from $524 to $1,777. Excluding rent, the average expenses for a household of 4 are between $1,599 and $2,299 per year. A furnished 1-bedroom apartment in a high-end neighborhood can be rented for $480 to $868 per month. The rent in a more normal neighborhood is between $271 and $479. Gas costs roughly $1.14 per liter, and a monthly pass for public transportation costs about $38. In general, living expenses in Colombia are quite inexpensive, particularly when it comes to housing and basic needs. Despite being more expensive than many other cities in the world, towns like Medellin, Bogota, and Cartagena are nonetheless reasonably priced given their popularity and amenities. To relocate permanently to Colombia, one must become fluent in the language. You are not allowed to take your hard-earned money out of the country at will since money laundering offenses are rampant. You have to demonstrate that your funds are clean and give a grounds for the withdrawal. The government opposes taking money produced domestically and instead wants to keep it in Colombia. Be mindful that the income tax rate in Colombia is 35% if you are thinking about conducting business there. Considering other regions, this rate is comparatively high. As is typical of many South American countries, high taxes are frequent in undeveloped nations with high rates of inflation and low monthly salaries. The main squares of cities are frequently incredibly clean, even with their hefty taxes. The value of the Colombian peso has declined significantly. At the moment, $1 is worth roughly 4,200 pesos in Colombia. Anywhere in the nation, a filling supper may be had for about 12,000 pesos or $3. A night's stay in a fancy hotel might run you about $35. The average monthly salary in Medellin and Bogota, the country's capital, is approximately $300. Given that the minimum wage in Colombia is $261, living conditions for locals are not as good as those of visitors. With the help of the nation's Uber system, you can get anywhere in Medellin for under $3 and avoid battling congested public transit. Even though traveling to Colombia can be a lively and interesting experience, it's crucial to understand these economic realities.